of me being so in shock about how far people go. And I just find that the way they live their lives, okay, fine. But when you start bringing other people involved into your life, like your spouse, your partner, or whatever, or your significant other, or when you bring your children into this world, it's almost like because you live your life like this, it seems like everyone else has to suffer with you. It seems like, you know what I mean? Completely do not promote people to spend irresponsibly, you know what I mean? Where they go completely broke. And if they go broke, then that's what they have to deal with, you know? I do not promote spending money like water. I'm not trying to promote that at all, you know? I guess it's best to spend your life in a way that you could balance it out, you know? It's almost like it's just like people could spend so like freely, you know? But then when they get their bills sent in the mail or get an email notification that it's time to pay your credit card bill, and everything's just accumulating, you know, and you're not able to pay out anything, and you're just so much in debt, you know, that's not healthy either. I mean, that doesn't feel good. I used to go through that also myself, you know, just so be in debt with student loans. On top of that will be my regular spending. I had to pay for my car bills and stuff. I had to pay for my credit card bills, everything. There's so much to pay out every day, every month. You know, it just goes on years and years of owing money and interest on top of that. So that's not good at all. I used to be that, where I used to spend too much, you know, and they were mostly on things that I didn't even need. So, and I was addicted to spending on stupid stuff that I did not even need, you know. So now my shopping habits has changed a lot. I mainly spend it on necessities. Sometimes I'll be like buying this really nice high quality, I swear to God, I'm a big fan of Nike stuff. I love Nike shoes. I love Nike tank tops, capris. I love Champion too. I love Champion. So I'm not really much into Adidas much, or Under Armour brands, or Reebok, because for some reason everything that I seem to like just happened to be falling into the designs that Nike had. So I love Nike, guys. I have really nice like Nike quarter zip shirts with the nice fleece side. I love their stuff, and I love their shoes too. So anyways, there's times when I'll buy some, and Nike's expensive too, you know, just like Under Armour's expensive, Adidas expensive, even Reebok's really expensive too, you know. Those brands are really expensive, high quality, like workout clothing. So there's times when I'll spend money on those certain clothing items for me to work out in, or when I wear it on a casual day to go do errands or something. They're very stretchy, very flexible to wear. They wick off sweat, so it always feels so light, and I love how it fits to my body. I don't really like the baggy clothing. I like my clothes more tighter. And yes, I do have a gut, which shows my my belly, you know, my belly lining. Yes, I have a gut. I admit I have a belly. Well, like I said, I used to never have this belly until after having like more kids. So now that I have 5 kids, I still have to work on it. You know, I do have a belly now. So, you know, having a lot of kids, it's not easy to lose weight. So anyways, like I'll mainly spend money on necessities. You know, I really don't care to go out and eat fancy restaurants. I hate traveling through the airplane because I hate security, going through security, and I hate like delays, and you know, going to airplane's not cheap, and it's not free, so I don't really care for all that. So luckily Freddie and I just don't care for vacations. Our way of vacation is just riding our bikes along Lake Michigan, or go to other bike paths, you know, or we ride our bikes to Chinatown in Chicago. So that's our way of vacation, and then we come back home to our family and stuff. So that's fun to do. So our way of spending is not really extravagant. It's nothing luxurious, you know. So, and to talk about the other end, so I feel like the way Fred and I live is pretty balanced, you know. It's not spending too much, it's not spending too little. It's just in a way that you could save money and be careful how you spend it, and don't pinch down to the last penny so much where it causes so much stress, you know. Like being too cheap can actually cause a lot of stress, you know what I mean, where you're constantly stressed about money stressing about this and that, you know, but, you know, we will spend some money on certain items, but there's times when we will budget and save our money as well. So we feel that our lives is a little bit more balanced, you know. There's certain things that we're not really willing to spend too much money of, you know. So, and also, so we feel that we live a balanced life of frugal living where you get to enjoy a bit too, and then you get to make sure that you save money and don't spend too much. So the other extreme end where it's not balanced is when people are such cheapskates, like what I saw in that documentary. Oh, it's just made me sick to my stomach. And the things that I found in common was, oh yeah, this other man, before I forget, this other man, right? He has a wife, and they have a big home. Like, they have like a really nice, cute little mansion or something, like this cute house inside the woods. And it's got windows everywhere. They live a very peaceful Zen life, and they have a very nice home, nice furniture, nice outdoor design, where they had like a Buddha statue. They had a very nice home. They are like a nice middle-class home. And so, but it was a pretty big house. It's just two of them. They had no children. So this man is so silly. He'll like go biking, you know, but instead of staying in a hotel, he'll stay at people's home to spend the night there, you know, to save money. Okay, fine. And it's weird because he said that him and his wife retired. They retired at the age of 40, okay? Him and his wife retired at the age of 40. Yes, 40. So they retired early, and they were able to retire early because of the way they lived, he claimed. And it's weird because, he's not really retired really, because if you look at his lifestyle, he's working really hard. You know what he does for a living and every day? Every single day that he does, he'll not only dumpster dive, where he'll look through garbage bins and stuff, he'll look through the vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner, he'll look for change. Like, he'll reuse his vacuum bag, which is full of dust and all this gross stuff. He'll take it out and reuse the bag. And then he'll try to, his reason to take out the lint and reuse the bag, he'll also search for change, okay? In case if it got vacuumed up by accident. So he showed an incident where he was checking the vacuum bag to dump out the yucky stuff and to reuse the bag for his vacuum cleaner. And he found like 17 cents. Yes, he found 17 cents, and he was so proud of that. So what he does for almost like the whole day in his spare time, he would go biking everywhere. He'll go by public payphones to look for change. He'll even like spend time digging, looking on the ground around the payphone to look for coins, you know. He'll even dig in between the creases of the dirt and the curb to look for any change that might have fallen into the ground. So he'll literally dig around like the payphone to look for any change that might have fallen down, you know. And so he'll be really proud and what he has found, and then he'll go biking all around town, and he'll like look for change all over. And by the end of the day, it's almost like he spends about an average of at least 8 hours a day looking for change. So that one day that he was looking for change all day, where the documentary guys were videotaping, following him around town, he only made $7 and a few cents, and he was really proud of it. He said he pretty much considered that as a really good day, that he had found $7 and a couple cents for free that was dropped around on the ground. And he'll constantly look for like lost coins that have fallen inside the cracks of the sofa. So when he goes to people's homes, he'll dig into the sofas, even his own home. He'll dig into the sofa to look for change, you know. And I swear, it's so funny, like how far people go. And he wanted to spend the night at his friend's home because he didn't want to get a hotel. So the lady was okay with it, and the family was okay with it, I guess. You don't have a choice if your parents is allowing an old friend to come spend the night at your home. And he said that, I'll make you guys dinner. And he already said beforehand, before he left to go to that family's home on his bike trip, he said that he doesn't want to spend too much on dinner. So guess what he got? He got like, he wanted to get seafood, right? So, everything was so expensive. So then he got to the point where he just like, is there anything I can get for $3 for seafood? And so he ended up getting like a long, very long, a full-size salmon with all the fillet sliced off. So the only thing he bought was 2 of the salmon with just the head and just the bones only, because all the fillet cut was already sliced off of it. So it's mainly just all bones, and then the fish head. He bought 2 of that for the price of $3, and he cooked that at his friend's home. And everyone was so grossed out and disgusted by how he was cooking it, you know, and eating it. It's almost like, if you were so cheap, why would you even offer to cook dinner for them? If you're so cheap, why would you even spend money for $3 on a salmon that was all bones and just the head alone? Why would you even spend money to even cook that for people when you know that they're going to reject it? When you already know that you're going to be the only one making it? I just find it so like disrespectful how these cheapskates think. Like their mentality is always like taking advantage of people. I'm serious. Like you totally take advantage of staying the night at this family's home where you had free lodging, you know, and you didn't have to pay for hotel, and you stayed there for free, and you offered to cook them a dinner that was only for $3 that you spent on. This family, his friend was a female, but she was married, right? And she had 2 children, a son and a daughter, and they were like, the son looked like he was about 12, 13 years old. The daughter looked like she's about 11 or 12, you know, years old. So they're aware of things, you know. And so before he went, he wanted to make a gift for these 2 kids, right? It's like, if you're so cheap, why do you even worry about gifts for people? If you're so cheap, why you even worry about making dinner for people? If it's not going to be made in a decent way, in a respectful way. You're going to get 2 salmon with nothing but bones on it and the disgusting head on it. You're going to bring that over and cook them a disgusting salmon dinner, which is totally nothing but bones, and stink up the whole home, and you gross them out. The son actually had to leave the dining table because he wanted to show that he was going to eat the eyeballs of the fish, you know, and the son couldn't take it no more, so he just got up and left because it's so gross. And no one could even eat, and this soup that he made was so gross looking that no one could even eat the meal, you know. So, and if you're so cheap, why would you even worry about gifts? He said because he didn't want to spend money, he wanted to use the materials that he had. So he made that girl a purse made out of milk gallon with the handle, with the purse handle was made out of paper clips. It was so funny, you know. It's creative, but it was really funny at the same time. I swear this documentary was pretty much like a comedian show or something. And for the boy, he made him a wallet, like a Velcro wallet. And guess what it was made out of? It was so funny. He made that little boy a wallet to put his money in. It was made of like a bike tire inner tube. You know the black inner tube tire where you pump air in for your bicycle wheel? He used the inner tube tire as a black wallet, and he taped it up with that gray silver duct tape. It was so funny. I swear, the documentary was almost like a comedian show. You know, it kind of changed my life on how I perceive things now after watching that. It just makes you feel like, wow, if you look at the cheapskate, the way they live their lives, they just shortcut everything so much, and that it becomes like a stress factor. You know, like most of them get pretty stressed out if they had to spend any money. Most of them get really stressed out about when they had to spend money, you know? It's just weird, and the way they think is very contradicting of what they say and do, you know? And so it just didn't make sense to me much, you know? And that millionaire lady who owns that mansion, she says she never takes a shower or a bath at her home because she goes to the gym every day, and then she like takes a bath over there, because she purposely does not want to waste water at her home, so she didn't have to pay for water bill, you know. And then it's really weird because when her boyfriend moved in that day, she told him over and over, please trust me, don't flush the toilet, don't pee in the toilet, I want you to pee in a jar or something. And she says that and when she does the number 2, when she poops, which is totally gross, she collects it and she doesn't want to flush the toilet too many times. So when she poops, when she does the number 2, she'll collect it in a bag or something. And I think then later on when it piles up, and then she'll flush it or something. And that is so freaking gross. You know what? I think she's just saying that. I bet you what she does, she probably puts her feces in a bag and then she probably dumps it on her lawn. The same way she uses her urine, how she dumps in her backyard or for her garden. She probably throws her feces out there too. She probably didn't want to put that in documentary, but I know for sure she probably does the same thing that she does with her urine, which is so gross. Oh my gosh. So if you guys, like I said, it's not on YouTube. It's called Extreme Cheapskate. It's on Netflix, you know, or I don't know, you can rent it. I don't know, but it's pretty darn funny and very shocking how far people go, you know. And so it's just pretty funny, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, because for me it makes me feel like, wow, when Freddie and I invite guests over, I must treat them like kings and queens, because I go all out. Like, I have fresh produce, I decorate my plates, I make sure the food's fresh, everything's perfect, you know, even though it's out of my time and labor and, you know, and money and stuff, you know, but I love pampering people. And sometimes I might go overboard sometimes, or do too much, you know, when I should be focused on taking a break, relaxing, and, you know, focus on taking care of the kids, feed the kids, give them baths, you know. I have a lot on my plate too, so I have to make sure that I don't overdo it by pampering people too much where they get spoiled, you know. But when it comes to me ready and up for it, you know, I go all out. Like, I make sure everything's done nice, neatly. I decorate the plates. I decorate the desserts very beautifully. Everything's nice and fresh, you know. And it would never even cross my mind to get people dumpster food or go dive in the dumpster and grab old food and present it to people like I cooked it. And then when it's actually old food, expired food at the improper food temperature, you know, that can cause food poisoning. You know what I mean? So food poisoning can be very extreme, where you could be in the hospital for weeks, where I heard that when you get food poisoning really bad, your body feels numb and you feel nauseous, like you want to throw up all the time. And you do end up throwing up as well. And you feel a lot of like numbness all over your body. It just feels so gross. And you're on all this medication and IV and stuff in the hospital. So, you know, food poisoning can go to a very high extreme. And so that's just my point of just comparing what I saw, and the way they think, the way the cheapskate think, and the things that they do that can be considered illegal and pretty much stealing from businesses, and the extreme level of always being so stressed out about money, even if they do have money. I mean, these people, I'm serious, these people are not homeless at all. Hear me on that. These people are not homeless. They're just extreme cheapskate that will cut shortcuts if they can, you know. And what's really gross is this other man, okay, in another episode, was because he was so cheap to use water from his home, or to buy drinking water, or make his own filtered water. He didn't want to run the water in his home. So guess where he gets his water? He would go to the river and get water from the river, and he'll drink from it too. I'm like, so he does not offer drinking water, which is totally gross. Like, they'll like travel in a truck, this old truck he's gotten from 1980 something, that runs no faster than 20 miles per hour. And then cars are like honking at him because his vehicle's going so slow, you know? So him and his daughter and one of his old ex-girlfriend from 20 years ago would go in this thing while they're being videotaped to show where he gets his water. So he'll bring this big tall bucket. It's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 3 to 4 feet high, this huge bin where he collects water. They'll drag it all the way to the river. So while the water river's running, they'll collect water from there. Do you know how disgusting that water is? And oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Like, do you know how contaminated that water is? That water for sure has E. coli, which is feces from animals, and feces could be from humans too, you know? It's like, this water is really contaminated. You know, it's pretty much full of bacteria and full of unknown stuff in there that can really make you sick and even cause death, you know? So if you get E. coli poisoning from intaking water or anything that's really filthy, you can get really sick. You could be in bed rest for weeks at the hospital. Like I remember my science teacher back in college. He said one of his best friend went on a camping trip, and he said the water at the river was so clear and so pure looking that he didn't care. He went ahead and drank that water from the river, and he was sick. He had straight diarrhea for 2 to 3 weeks. Straight diarrhea for 2 to 3 weeks because he got E. coli poisoning. And my science teacher said that out in the forest when they were camping, there's bears that poop and the poop gets in there. There's deers, there's rabbits, squirrels, birds that swim and poop in the water, or there's mud or things that fall into that water. You drink that unfiltered and unboiled, and you don't boil it, yeah, you'll get sick. Even if you boil it, it's still gross. You still gotta filter all the microscopic rocks and little yucky stuff in there, you know? Oh my gosh. And so this man was so cheap because he didn't want to use water at his home. He'll get water from the river, and he drinks that water. Ew. Gross. So anyways, it just tells you, when you see stuff like that, it just makes you compare your life, you know? And one thing I want to say too is these people that are such cheapskates that want to save so much money that they're not willing to buy food at the stores or like buy any food or fruits and vegetables, you know? They want to go scavenge for free stuff. And what you're going to find is dumpster food, okay? And and it's just really gross. And I find it so disrespectful when you give people dumpster food and you don't tell them in advance to give them the option or chance to reject it, you know? But no, you let your guests eat it. After they eat it and they ask you, is it dumpster food, then you admit to it. That's wrong. I find that so wrong. That's what you call crazy people. So I think pretty much all those people in that documentary, the cheapskate, are just cuckoo. They're crazy, you know what I mean? Completely, like, get this mental disorder or something, you know? And some of the stuff that they do, okay, fine. I could find it pretty creative on saving money, but most of the stuff that they do, I find it so like cuckoo, like so not all there in the head, like they're imbalanced, like they have some sort of abnormality in their brain where they just have some sort of disorder in their head, you know? Most of the stuff that they do, I say that they are crazy people. So, and I know this video's been long, but if you guys want to watch it, you can. You know, it's got a lot of episodes, and oh yeah, and then Freddie just told me recently, I don't know if he mentioned that in his video, but he told me the one that was the worst was when this guy, he wanted to meet someone special, right? So he went on the dating site, and so he connected with this one girl, and so they met up at a restaurant, and he kept controlling the situation. He kept controlling the situation because he knew that he was going to pay for the bill, you know? And so he kept controlling her not to order too much or that they could share, you know? Okay, fine, you know? And so she wanted to order like a sandwich, but then he said that, you know, if they could share the sandwich. And for him, you know how like ribs actually come in a half slab or like a full slab of rib? So it's funny, he only ordered one rib bone, not a full slab rib, not a half, okay? I'm talking about just one bone out of the ribs. So he ordered only one rib bone. And it's mostly just bone, there's not much meat in there. And so I asked Freddie, did the girl looked at him weird the whole time? He's like, yeah, so funny. And it's just so contradicting what they do and what they believe in. If you're so freaking cheap to pay for the dating bill to take a girl out to eat on the first date, you obviously went to a dating site because you want to meet eventually a significant other, a special someone in your life, right? But then you don't want to share anything with that person. You just want to be so cheap about it, you know? I don't promote people overspending on overly extravagant foods, you know? No, I'm not, okay? It's just like, if you're so cheap, why the hell are you trying to find someone special, because if you don't want to help out or contribute in taking this person out, then why the hell are you even looking forward to being with someone when you don't even want to help out and paying for any of the meals or anything, you know? And why, so if you're so cheap, then why would you even meet up with her at a restaurant? You could have just been like, you know what, I'm a cheap person, or I'm very frugal, I'm very cheap. Let's, instead of spending money at a restaurant, why don't you eat at your home and I'll eat at my home, and we could meet up at a library or at a Starbucks or something, or a coffee shop, you know, just for a small cup of coffee instead of a whole meal or something. You know, that should have been communicated if you're really that cheap. But since you didn't communicate that, you want to meet up at a restaurant, you expect her not to eat nothing, and obviously you didn't eat anything really either. So it doesn't make sense to why even meet at a restaurant, you know? And so I just find that so contradicting. It just doesn't make sense to me, you know? It's like, if you're so cheap, then why are you fat? If you're so cheap, then why are you overweight? You know? And this other man, the man who I had mentioned who had inflammation in his body, he looked like he has illnesses or something, and he eats very horribly. That same man who stole the 14 samples of ice cream, back to that guy, he was so cheap that he reuses his dental floss. Okay, fine. And he said he never buys dental floss. He only gets like free samples that you can get through by mail order stuff, you know, or you get free samples from the dental office, you know. So he never buys dental floss, and he reuses his dental floss over and over. And a lot of these people that had in common, they don't buy toilet paper. They reuse their hand napkins. They wash their hand napkins and they hang up their napkins, you know, to reuse it. And so, and for him, okay, fine, okay, why even worry about your teeth when you don't even worry about your body? Why would you worry about reusing your dental floss when you don't even worry about what you eat and what you put in your body? And why worry about your teeth again and the healthiness of your teeth when you don't even exercise? You know what I mean? The food that he eats was completely horrible, unhealthy foods that creates inflammatory in your body, that creates cancer in your body. If you're concerned about your teeth, then why not be concerned about your well-being, what you put in your mouth, what you eat, and about your health and wellness on exercising. So I find that when people are so cheap on certain things about their health, then what about the rest of their other health besides their teeth? It doesn't make sense. And you know what? What is so disgusting about the dental floss? Once you use it on your teeth flossing, your gums will bleed a little bit here and there. And I don't care if you claim that you bleached it and you cleaned that dental floss, but that dental floss will eventually grow bacteria on it still. You know, over time, you're going to damage your gums by putting old dental floss back in there over and over again, you know? It's going to create a lot of gross gingivitis and gum disease if you keep reusing that dental floss over and over, you know what I mean? So what I found common was they reuse their napkins, they steal napkins from the bathroom, public bathrooms, and they bring it home. What else? They just steal what they can out there to bring home for free, you know? And it was so funny because Freddie said that that same guy who was dating online with that girl, he was so cheap that what was he doing when I asked? He was pocketing all the plastic utensils and bringing it home. Yeah. And what else he was doing? Packing the water?
No, he would take the styrofoam cup home.
Oh yeah, he was so cheap he wanted to keep the styrofoam cup and bring it home too. You know, I understand if you want to recycle, because I recycle a lot of my containers as well, but he was purposely just being so cheap that he just want to pocket anything he can get to bring it home. It's silly. You know what I mean? I love to recycle things. I reuse my containers a lot, you know, because when I have leftovers at restaurants, they give you these really nice high quality containers where they're microwavable, they can be reused. I don't throw those containers out at all. I save those containers to use for my home, and I use those containers to pack food for our friends and family when they come over to visit for Thanksgiving or for whatever meal that they didn't finish. I just pack them some food and some desserts home, you know. So I reuse that, you know. But to constantly look for free stuff in public, you know, just so you could live a better life. Oh, seriously? Really? You seem pretty stressed out all the time. So, you guys, like I said, I just thought that this is really like a funny thing to share with the world with my video, and then Freddie did his in the video as well about extreme cheapskate on that documentary. I swear it was a total like comedian show. It was funny as hell, and my mouth dropped so many times like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that. I'm so upset. I'm so angry. Was he crazy? You know, it's just funny. Like, they had a lot of stuff in common what they did to save money. It's silly, but like I said, there's so many more stuff to the different episodes, you know. I can't tell it all because my throat's getting dried up and I'm getting exhausted. And I've just been so battling day in, day on about these documentary, how silly they were. And I'm just like, that's it. Do a video, Jenny, because I kept bickering to Freddie about how silly those people are. He's like, how did you do a video? So, sorry, I know my fans miss me. I haven't been making videos lately because I've just been tired, lazy, and sometimes I feel like I look like crap, you know, and so I'm here, Miss Jenny Lee, so stay tuned for more fun videos, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. And by the way, think about the stuff that I mentioned today and compare it to your life. Okay, and tell me what I said was completely crazy about what those crazy people were doing. Crazy people, I'm serious. Thanks guys, take care.